Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the best day in the land, baby. We call it Friday Eve. It's a special, the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. You got a two-man show for now. We're going to get the third man in here and there, coming off the bench, giving him some minutes. It's a little special thing we do on this Friday Eve, where sometimes people go to work the next day and they sit at their cubicle, they throw a piece of paper to their next door neighbor and say, "Hey, did you see it?" And they be like, "What you talking about?" And then there's people they in the lunch break room getting breakfast and getting coffee, and they like, "Oh man, I hope you saw last night. Jack Carr was killing it." And you know what they're gonna say? You're gonna be like, "What show is that?" And then somebody in the background will be like, "Oh, you know what that is? It's the Thursday night Throwdown." Yeah, baby. It's live and direct, coming to you, like we said, two-man show early. We got some beautiful information going. We got the NFL Draft Combine. We're going to break down a little bit of what's going on in Ashburn. With that being said, I'm the Midnight Rider. That's the gentleman, Jack Carr. We got our host, KG. He's in the atmosphere, as they say. He's going to be hopping in, asking some questions, doing some things, doing some spots. I think we may have missed the early window with him because he wanted to talk about one of the sad events that just happened recently. We lost Gene Hackman, one of the great actors. He's probably known for his role in Hoosiers, since we're doing a sports show. He also played some great characters. I thought he was a beast, the Enemy of the State. If you can name the movie he was in it, he probably killed it or had some great scene in the movie. Real quick, Jack, you got any thoughts on this, on Gene Hackman?
Well, you got to put him down as one of the GOATs, man. I know we throw that word around a lot here, but Gene Hackman, definitely one of the greatest. I think did you mention Behind Enemy Lines?
I did not.
Oh, that was one of my favorites with him. I'd love to know how many movies he was in, because I can't even remember some of the names that he was in, so many. But
one of the favorites I remember when I was little, we saw, I think my school did a trip. I know my dad was with me, and we saw Mississippi Burning.
Oh,
and he was in that.
Yeah,
and he played a strong role in that. Yeah, I mean, it's so many roles, so many things, like you can't even think of all of them.
Well,
he was in so much stuff. Go ahead.
Did you say Replacements?
I forgot about that.
That was badass. He was another coaching role there. Heist was a good one. He's in a lot of movies, man. So, yeah, God bless Gene Hackman's family and kids, and thank you for all the great movies, sir. Greatly appreciated by the gentleman here.
Yeah, same thing for me. I mean, I think when we get KG, I know he's gonna want 5 minutes. Speaking of the devil, ladies and gentlemen, the man infamously known as the big guy KG. The big guy KG.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I just wanted to jump in for a few. Sad day. Gene Hackman, and if you haven't checked it out, in the Sideline Junkies 24/7 group, as well as on my personal page, I talked about my personal feelings of him. He introduced Lex Luthor to the big screen in Superman 1 and 2. Papa Dole in the French Connection 1 and 2. Not to take any shine away from Ed O'Neill, who played Papa Dole in the 80s. But you got him in Hoosiers. And if you were a high school basketball player, Hoosiers was your go-to. For me, a movie that I go back to, a Gene Hackman movie I go back to on a regular basis, The Replacements. Jimmy McGinty. He's not a conventional coach. That's the movie I go to. That's my go-to Gene Hackman movie. When I'm feeling down, when I'm sick, I go to that because he got a line in that movie, and I live by it. He said, "What separates winners and losers?" And Keanu Reeves said, "The score." He said, "No. What separates a winner and loser is getting back up on the horse after he even kicked you in the teeth." And I live by that philosophy in my normal life, and I've been living by it for 25 years.
Yeah.
Just because you got knocked down don't mean you stay down. You got to get back up and get back on the horse. Jeez. But I just wanted to take 5 minutes and say that, fellas, sad day. Period. And then on top of that, yesterday was a sad day too. Michelle Trachtenberg, not sports related. Those generation, a certain age, certain you have Harriet the Spy. You get a little bit older, you have Euro Trip. And she
I think we
big
lost
shout out to Gene Hackman, Michelle Trachtenberg.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, my phone keeps ringing.
No, you good. But before you go, don't forget we also lost Roberta Flack this week too.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say. We lost the great Roberta Flack, and my goal on Tuesday night was to go through the whole Ashburn Powwow, naming Roberta Flack songs a la Midnight Rider, to see if anybody picked up on it. So, because it was gonna be something in that whole thing that was killing me softly. So I had a whole list of ready to go. So, man, I don't know what else I can say, but I got to take a page out of the Boss BJ's book, and I have to say, 95 years old, and you were able to retire from acting. The impact that he has left on the movie world, not to mention the philanthropy that he did in his personal life, that impact alone is absolutely awesome. He had a life that was well lived. His wife was an accomplished pianist in her own right, classical, and she was a legend in her own right as well. So rest in peace to him, his wife, and everybody that didn't pass away this week. It's just like death coming from every which way, man. Just God.
No doubt. And I tell you, I had a little memory from way back when I was a youngster. He was in The Poseidon Way. That was a movie I think most folks watched in school back when I was in school in the 70s anyway. Another movie, No Way Out. Another movie, The Firm. He was in Get Shorty. He just has so many movies, man. We could probably make a show by naming all the Gene Hackman movies out there. So you're right there, KG. Definitely good.
I think we said some of these sentiments, but let's hit up Sam R's comments. He's our first commenter, as always. Day before Gene, that side character chick from Buffy passed, she was real recognized. I think that's who you were just talking about, KG. Some movies he listed, kind of some of the stuff we already talked about. Superman 2, Enemy of the State, Behind Enemy Lines. And of course he says, that's why you got to get out and meet these legends while they're here. Yeah, you never know when we're going to lose them. And if you can't meet them, I say make sure you consume them enough so that way when something happens, you're not sitting there like, oh, I wish, even though, we got everything on video and you can always go back, but you don't get to, I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you go back, you don't appreciate the person the same as you would if you had that firsthand experience before they passed away. And that's just my personal thoughts. KG, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm here for the time being. I'm gonna jump off though, fellas. I heard y'all started off, and I'm glad you did that because I wanted to get in there and say that, man. You fellas, I'm gonna try to join back up towards the end of the show. But go ahead and knock that thing out the park, man. Only like y'all can. I missed the intro, so my Friday ain't gonna be right because I didn't get my Thursday Eve fixed. So I gotta go back on the recording and look at that.
If you want. We can do this on demand if you want.
Anytime.
Please.
All right.
For me, just for me, especially for me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome KG to our Friday Eve special. And when it comes to our Friday Eve special, there's one thing that's always synonymous with it. But before I get there, just remember when you go to work tomorrow, there's gonna be people at the lunch counter making their coffee, and they're gonna be talking about this show they watched on Friday Eve. You're gonna see people at the old donuts picking through them. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be talking about that show they watched on Friday Eve. And then somebody's gonna be like, oh man, I hope you saw the Gentleman Jack Carr on Friday Eve in that show with those other guys. And then they're gonna be like, well, what's the name of that show? And then somebody in the back of the room is gonna yell, it's called the Thursday Night Throwdown. Yeah.
That's all I needed. That's what I needed, man. Y'all go ahead, knock these segments out. When you get to your draft combine, I'll be in the comments and everything. So I got a couple of names to throw out there to you. Well, I threw one out pre-show, and I just want you to, if I didn't get the whole analysis, but if you can go over that, I'd be grateful for that, please.
Well, you might as well just go ahead and sit in the comments because that's where we starting off at. We about to
all right, let's go.
The mothership with what we always do this time of year. We like to talk combine. These guys have allowed me to be a combine junkie that I am. I actually have it on in the background as we're doing the show. I'm trying to catch up on today's events. But Jack and I on Tuesday, we started this conversation with just some guys that we picked out, and we were thinking that, you know, this might be a guy, this might be somebody, and then just names in general. One of the things that we always pride ourselves on is we don't always just stick with the first round. We try to see some guys later on that might be some help. You know, when you start doing mocks, you start seeing the same names. So then you get curious about people. You start wondering, all right, well, what's this guy look like? You know, what's his measurables? Maybe sometimes you'll go to like a Walter Camp football page and see what his write-up is. Or you go to like a guy like, what's my guy that used to be at ESPN? Mike, he's at ESPN now, Mike Miller. I'm not a big Mel Kiper guy. Personally, my guy is Daniel Jeremiah. That's also where I watch my draft coverage. So I'm a little weird that way. I know KG's a big ESPN guy because he can't let anything go. But that's all good.
I'm just over here making all kind of ruckus, ain't I? Midnight Ride. I dropped everything on my desk. Everything.
I saw stuff going. I was like, all right. If I don't say nothing, he won't say nothing.
I kind of reorganized my desk when I did a little bit of the reconfiguration of the office, and stuff's not where it needs to be. I'm bumping into it now, so I will try to hold it down.
I know you said you watched the combine already. I think I'm on the linebackers, and then I'm gonna try to go back and watch the defensive ends. For you, anybody on your list or like confirm some stuff for you? Anything stand out right away for you? First blush.
How fast these defensive linemen are getting now, and the backers. I mean, the backers are flying in mid to barely high fours. You know,
I think the fastest linebacker was a 4.45. I don't think anybody gave us the patented Moses Malone, the 4.44, but we had a 4.45 for sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk about a guy or two real quick.
Yeah, I just got a little bit. The boy from Marshall, Mike Green.
Yep.
I liked him from a statistical view. He had 17 sacks, and I think they said he had 25 tackles for loss.
Something like that.
That's a pretty good ass year right there. And
he's got two issues right now. He's got a bad hammy, and then he's got there's a sexual assault case that kind of popped up in this process. So I don't know the results of that. We're gonna leave everything in the alleged category. So those are two things that you got to start watching for him. Because I saw him in what I watched of him between the Senior Bowl clips and some of the stuff I watched on YouTube, even though they're all his highlights, I saw probably a guy in the 15 to 25 range. What else you got on him? If you got anything else?
No, I just noticed that about him. I think I didn't know about the allegations against him. But as you say, innocent until proven guilty. I'm a firm believer in that. And in today's world of all kind of rumors and craziness goes on out here, anybody can say anything about anybody. So I won't hold that until it's official. I just think he's a guy that might not be there right now, but he's got the tools. And to get with the right NFL squad, he could turn into a monster.
Oh, for sure.
So that's, he's at a smaller school in Marshall. I mean, not small like, JUCO or nothing, but just not one of your big powerhouses. So that's why I look at him, because you put them numbers up there with that squad. It's not like he's at Bama or Clemson, where there's just 6 deep at every position. Another guy that I like that I saw a little bit today. Oh, I didn't have it written and ready. I just got notes. Oh, Ty Robinson from Nebraska. That's a big youngin.
All right, you got details on him?
Ty Robinson from Nebraska. He ran a 4.840 today. He's got very strong hands. And in the line, you need that to get them big offensive linemen off you. So that's all I got on him. But I like him too, sliding up and helping the team out that position. You got anything on him?
He just popped on my timeline today. Looks like he's 6'5", 288. So he looks more like a I wonder who his comp is, because the way he ran the 40 today, I thought about the guy from all right. Don't go to NFL.com while you're doing it.
But yeah. And also
all right, sorry about that.
That's
but
okay.
No, when I saw him run, he reminded me last year, the kid from Florida State, Brandon Fisk. He ran like a 4.75, maybe a 4.7. They have similar builds. They were both equally destructive. They're both a little bit under 300 pounds. So when I saw it, that's who I thought of. And then it looked like in the notes, I saw something about him being a bully. So I'm definitely going to sit down and watch some more of them.
Yeah. Well, you watch him, and if you haven't watched this guy, I recommend you watch this guy, Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M. Shit, man, he had over a 40-inch vert, and his long jump was like 10.5 feet. That's unreal. That's freaking nature type stuff right there, if you ask me. You got anything on Shamar, or have you heard about him?
Oh my gosh, what? So when he came out of high school, he was either the number one defensive end. He might have been the number one player in the country. Like I said before on one of our earlier shows, there's going to be a lot of guys in this class that are either started at Texas A&M or played their career through Texas A&M along the defensive line, and they're going to show. The only problem Texas A&M had was they didn't have a quarterback the last couple years. This past season was probably their best quarterback play. But Shamar Stewart, I think he's 6'6", 280, very explosive athlete. You already said that with his jump. I think he had a 4.5 40, 4.6 40 maybe. I don't want to go back to NFL Network because they're gonna play another ad and y'all gonna get some advertisement during the show. But no, he's high on my list. I think the way he ran today and the way he showed today, I thought I had him late first. But after going back and listening to some people, and then watching some stuff, I think he's going to be a guy that he might be the guy that goes to Dallas at 12, because Dallas needs a defensive end. They need ends bad because they lose DeMarcus Lawrence, they lose OG Ozigazawa, their D tackle, so they're going to need help across the D line. So, I mean, I know there's another guy that used to be at Texas A&M that might catch the Cowboys' eye as well, and that's Myles Garrett. But if you can't get Myles Garrett, you might want to get something that's kind of close to him. Very good athlete, man.
Yeah, I agree. And the last lineman that I kind of got my eyes on is C.J. West out of Indiana. He played great in the Shrine Bowl. He's explosive. He's quick. He's fast. There's a difference in being fast and quick. So I think C.J. West holds very good skills in his feet and his quickness. Keep an eye on C.J. West from Indiana. Midnight Rider, what you got on C.J.? Anything?
I don't have anything on him. That's why I like doing this with you, man, because you find names that I don't think about. So here's a couple guys that I had. You might notice a trend a little bit with some of this. So the first guy is Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan. If you haven't seen the video, there's a YouTube of a running back breaking a run. And he literally runs the running back down in open field. Not the safety, not the corner. The defensive tackle turns and sprints and runs him down. That poor running back ain't getting drafted.
340 pound.
He's fast, he's quick, and he's strong. He's going to be a problem, but I think his teammate, there's a D tackle teammate that's going to go in the top 10.
Graham.
Yeah, Graham. And then after that, it's going to be interesting to see where the rest of this plays out. But yeah, I have Kenneth Grant. I think the stud, and he might battle Shamar Stewart for who goes off the board first, is James Pierce from Tennessee. He wears number 27. My gosh. Dude's linky. He's fast. He's explosive. Great first step. I don't know what he end of the year in terms of sack wise, but he's going to be dangerous at the next level.
Yeah.
He's in the right place. Like, unfortunately, he's too early, but a place I would have loved to see him end up is like a Buffalo. And you have that experience of a guy like what's my guy in Buffalo from Texas A&M with the glasses? Oh, I can see his face. Played in Denver, played in Buffalo, defensive end. Oh, why am I blanking on his name?
Oh, Von Miller?
Yeah, Von Miller. He's got that kind of a first step. Thank you, man. I'm sorry. But,
I was freezing. I'm like, I know he know Von Miller.
I just couldn't think of it. It wouldn't pop in my head. Like I'm literally looking at his face, and I just can't get that out of my head. Let's see what we got here.
Well, I had the same type of notes on who were you just on? You were just on
James Pierce.
Yeah, Pierce. I had pretty much the same stuff. I mean, he's got excellent power moves. I mean, he would just bull rush your ass. I mean, I think he's going to be dominant in this league soon. I really do.
I like some of this because let's see this. Let's see. Sam's in here cutting up. Let's see. Sam, that's why you got to get out and meet these legends while they're here. You already said that one. See, nobody I've encountered in public knows about the sideline junkies, but I was sure to let them know. Here you go.
All right, baby.
Sam R, don't trip, Jack. My room is cluttered too. Loaf of bread next to my bed.
I ain't got that, Sam. I might have some peanut butter over here or something. I ain't got no loaf of bread in my shit.
Jamie, Ty Robinson ran a 4.83. Dang.
Wow.
Here's probably one of the bigger questions. Travis Hunter, wide receiver DB. This is an easy answer. It's going to be DB because you can always put him on the field to cover, and then you just create a package. I think you get with your training staff and you figure out what's the best way to get him involved in offense. Maybe you script him 15 to 20 plays. Maybe out of those 20 plays, he gets 4 or 5 touches. And that's how you build that from that point on. Because you're not going – I just don't think with the physicality and the strength and speed of these guys, I don't think he's going to be able to hold up for 17 ball games, playing both ways and trying to do it upwards of 100 plays. I just don't see it working for him in the long run.
I agree. And like you say, you get him in as a DB, and you do like the NFL's been doing for a lot of these dual purpose guys or the quarterbacks that are, runners. They make a few plays for them in the beginning of the season and decide what's going to work and expand after that. You're right. To play 100 plays, 17 games. I mean, these 60-minute ball games here. This isn't college ball, man. So you're gonna be on that field for a while.
Exactly.
And I just don't see it happening a full way two-way player.
Right.
He can definitely be you can be a decoy, or he can be, the trick pony that's going to take this ball out of shotgun or catch that quick slant. Do I think he can handle that? Hell yeah. So I think I don't know. It's hard to say because I myself think he was a better receiver than he was a corner.
And I'm the total opposite. I think he's a better DB than he is a wide receiver.
Okay.
I think he's, in my eyes, when I watch him, I think there's some things, some circling on his routes and some things that he'd have to clean up a whole lot to be a every down wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, wasn't Horn the number one?
No, Horn was the 2
in Colorado, and then he got hurt.
No, Horn was the 2. Hunter's the 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they had this other guy, LeJontay Wester. I don't know if I got to him on Tuesday or not, but he's a nice guy. I think he's another guy that can fit in the slot. But let's keep up with the comments. Let's go with Jamie again, back with James Pierce, Tennessee. She gave us 2 check marks. So I think she's in agreement with us. In the comments, Von Miller. Thanks, KG. I don't know why I drew a blank on Von Miller. I saw Von Miller. I saw the ex-girlfriend. I saw everything. I just couldn't say his name or think of his name. It's crazy, man. And then Jamie with another one. And I got to write this one down because I saw a thing on him early in the week, and I forgot to do a breakdown on him. So I'm going to watch this kid. Yes. Jamie said, interested to see what Derek Harmon, Oregon, does. I think that's another one that I want to check out myself. I did a lot of DT work, but a lot of my work this round was in the SEC. And I'll show you because I got a couple more names.
Yeah, no, I checked him out a little bit, Harmon. I like him. He's big, he's long, and he's got great measurements and athleticism.
You got a height weight on him?
I do not.
Okay.
I can get it while you're following up.
Hey, Jamie, if you got his height weight measurables, drop it for us, please.
Yeah, we got 2-man crew tonight.
Yeah. So here we go. Another D tackle I like, TJ Sanders from South Carolina. When I watched him, he seemed very violent at the point of attack. Very explosive. Sounds like stuff that when you hear the Commanders talk about arriving violently and being explosive, you think of this kid here. Let's see, who else do I have? Gave you Stewart, gave you Sanders, Grant Green, Pierce.
Right below Sanders on the list is that boy from Ohio State, Jack Sawyer.
I don't know what to do with him.
He's a backer, isn't he?
I thought he was a backer, but I think he played edge.
Okay. I like him.
There's a couple of conversations when I watch him, even during the season. I know I didn't do him justice because I kept thinking Ryan Kerrigan type of thing, but he looks like he's a much better athlete than that.
Is he 44?
He's 33. 44 is JT Tiamana-Lau, who's also available in this draft.
Yeah.
44 he came back for his senior year, but I think he should have, if he had left last year, I think he would have been in the first 2 rounds. I don't know where he's ending up in this one.
Mm-hmm.
See, to finish out the D-line, my last 2 is Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee. I didn't get a whole bunch on him yet, He's probably somebody I'm gonna have to go make another second trip on. And then South Carolina has a guy, Kyle Kennard, motor, intangibles. I think he's gonna be a guy, intangibles versus measurements. It's gonna be something I want to see this weekend. In terms of, is he just an explosive guy? Does he have the measurables to match the explosion? So that way, because you know how the league is, they have certain arm lengths and things of that nature when it comes to certain guys. Let's see, Harmon. Derek Harmon is 6'5", 310. That sounds like they used to have a tackle there that ended up in San Fran. I think it was Eric Armstead. That's who he sounds like. I wish I had my pen on this one.
Yeah, no, I like him.
All right, so let's get to a couple linebackers I wrote down real quick. I'm going to try to buzz through this. Jalen Walker from Georgia. He's another freak athlete. I think he's like 6'4", 6'5". I don't think he's running today. If you turn on a Georgia game, he made a play. I'm just going to say it that way. He went between – he's kind of like Jahad Campbell from Alabama. He's played some defensive end, some off-ball linebacker. So the question is going to be where you want to put him. I think some people are going to give him like a Micah Parsons role. That way he can roam a little bit. Maybe he blitzes in the middle. Maybe he blitzes off the edge. I think that's kind of what you're going to see from him. A guy that I watched a whole lot this last season is the kid from Notre Dame, Jack Kaiser. Simple thing on Jack Kaiser, he's always around the football. He's always if you're on offense and the football is somewhere, best believe Jack Kaiser is somewhere in the neighborhood. Iowa has a linebacker, Jay Higgins. Again, I want to see what his measurables are. I don't know what his foot speed is, but he always flashed on every play that I saw as well. And then there's a kid out of Rutgers, Tyreen Powell. I just started on him, so I got to do some more work and just figure out what I like about him. Cornerbacks and safeties, I got 5 guys. And if you got anybody else, let me know.
I got a couple guys. I haven't done much. I didn't get caught up to the linebackers and D-backs on this yet, but I did just put some checks on some guys I want to look into, see how they did at the combine, see what they're expected to do in the draft. Barrett Carter over at Clemson.
Okay.
Cody Lindenberg at Minnesota.
Okay.
And Nick Martin at Oklahoma State. No, I'm sorry, Bam Martin Scott at South Carolina. If your name's Bam and you play linebacker, you better be. And of course, Jelon Walker at Georgia. He's gonna be sick, man.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I've seen on the backers. We can go to backs. I didn't.
So the best back I've seen so far in my start on this is Jahdae Barron from Texas.
Boom! I just put an X next to him.
Go ahead.
We do get a lot of the same stuff in our picks. I think we look for the same type of players, man. So, yeah.
No, the only thing I've heard from him today is I listened to McShay talk about him. McShay thinks he can get in the top 15. He's a safety. He can play corner. He can play big nickel. So he says he's got good ball skills. He's handsy without being. He has the handsiness of St. Juice, but he doesn't get the penalties, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Real quick, couple comments here. Jamie Carson Schlesinger, UCLA, 6'2", 242, 4740. I wonder what his
Damn.
I wonder what his 10-second is. And then she got Chris Paul, Ole Miss. Give me a position on that one, Jamie, please. From the big guy KG, can Washington get tight end from Penn State? I think that's Tyler Warren. KG, no. After the year that Brock Bowers had, he's
Yeah.
similar to Brock Bowers. I don't think he's as fast. I'm gonna want to see what his 40 is going to end up being, but nah, Tyler Warren's
gone in the first 10.
I believe so too. I mean, at worst, he's going 11.
Bingo.
I think it's one of those situations. If he gets out, it's just by the hair on his chin, and either somebody moves up to pick him at 11, or he gets taken at 11. And we'll have more on that when we get into the draft boards more. Cornerback from Notre Dame, again, another guy I saw a lot of, Benjamin Morrison. When I watched him, he was sticky in terms of coverage, but when I watched him in a couple of situations, he looked a little stiff in the hips. God, I wish Mike Mayock was still on the draft coverage because I'd love to hear what he says about Benjamin Morrison. Another guy I like is Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia. Again, he's another guy that's going to be in that first round conversation. Depending on where the runs happen, he could fall into the late first. Again, it's another guy that we probably, once we see the measurables in terms of height, weight, 40 time, we watch him in a couple of these drills, I think you'll get a better idea and a better feel for him. My last two, BJ Adams from UCF. He looked very sticky in coverage. Looked like he was always in the hip pocket of the wide receiver. And also, there's a kid at Kansas, Cody Bryant, that I'm just starting on. So he makes the list, but I don't have details yet. And I think maybe we do this every other Thursday or so till we get to the draft. We talk about a couple names, talk about a couple guys that we've been looking at. We make it our staple on Thursdays,
Yeah, that sounds good.
Anything else you have?
Well, you named some guys right off jump. I mean, but I want to go with this one cat over in Kansas. And I'm kind of going with this because of his name and the spelling of his name. His name's Kobe Bryant. His name is spelled Cobee.
You don't listen to me?
You said that already?
I just said that was the last name.
No, your last name was BJ Adams.
No, I said, and then the other one that just started on was Cody Bryant.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I like because this is where we're thinking the same way.
I don't listen to you though.
I know you don't.
Over at Louisville, you got Quincy Riley.
Okay.
I want to look into him and see what's up. And then Upton Stout from Western Kentucky. Somebody was talking about him when I was mixing it up about the combine last week. So that was what made me want to go in and check out this boy from Western Kentucky. His name is Upton Stout.
There's since we're talking about guys on that level, there's a guy he's a D tackle from Toledo. I got to find his name, but he's in this class. He's got explosion written all over him. I'll look that up and I'll bring it up as we move along. Anything for you today? I know you got a chance to watch it. Besides the games, guys we named, anything else stick out?
No, not necessarily. Nothing else stood out or stuck out. You hit it. Our comments hit it. What I've seen. I just look forward to seeing. I'm waiting for Saturday. I want to see the receivers in the backs. So who's going off tomorrow, Midnight Rider? Is that going to be O-line? No, O-line's last, ain't it?
Right. I think it's tight ends and maybe DBs tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to double check because they've changed it around before.
I had it in here.
And then Jamie checks in. She says she's watching the combine now for linebackers, and Teddy Bouchane, Cal is showing out. He did. I like the kid that just went. There's two guys coming up now, Nick Martin and Kane Madrano. Madrano had a nice 40. I think he was like around mid 4.5s. And Nick Martin ran a nice 4.5 as well, I think. Once we get the officials.
Well, I tell you what, and I was looking at this and I was thinking and thinking. I ain't never been timed in a 40 in my life. You?
Yeah, but it wasn't pretty.
I'm just saying. High school, I just played 1 year football, and then baseball. Yeah, sometimes they'll do some timing on how fast you get down the baseline and stuff like that. But I don't recall myself, unless I did it at a camp or something and didn't know. But yeah, I ain't got no idea what I ever did in a 40. And if anybody out there in viewer land wants to be a smart aleck, shoot, fire away.
So I know I ran one of like some NFL, like it was at like Redskins Park or whatever. I don't even know. I know it was a high 4 then, but I always know that I'm not a track guy. I like to say I'm quicker than fast.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see what my short shuttle would have been like if I did it out of high school or in college, but I didn't, so I'm not worried about it. KG says he ran a 4.5 at his peak.
He can still run a 4.5. He told you, Midnight Rider.
You said he could still run a 4.5, KG?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He said, man, it was last Sunday show.
Nah.
You was here, bro. You was here. We
Nah.
both cracked up on him. No, I tell you though, let me think. 15, 16, I was chunky. 17, 18, 19, I slimmed down a little bit. And then into my early 20s, I stayed at that maybe 210. And then I sprouted up a little bit. But I was fast, I felt, for over 200-pound player. So I was underrated for my speed a lot, and no matter what sport it was, I used to make people pay for it because they underestimated my speed for a big guy.
Real quick, looks like a little leaderboard here for the linebackers. Kane Madrano 4.46, Eugene Asante from Auburn 4.48, Jahad Campbell 4.52, which solidifies his spot. Danny Strutman with a 4.4. Where's my remote? Hold on, it's not a 4.4 flat. It's hold on.
Yeah,
go back to the chart. Let's get the remote to work with us, and we'll get back to the rest of that chart. I'm gonna hit pause on it. Looks like Sam says 2025 Sideline Junkies Extreme Triathlon. I'm there. I'm not. So unless there's a chicken wing eating contest or beer drinking, I'm not in it. Just to finish up the prior thought, Danny Strutman from Oklahoma ran a 4.52. Nick Martin, OSU, that's Oklahoma State, 4.53. Colin Oliver, Oklahoma State as well, 4.56. I think that's Smile Mondone Jr. from Georgia, 4.58. Demetrius Knight looks like he ran a 4.58. Carson Bruner, 4.58 as well from Washington. How many Bruners are going to walk through the doors at University of Washington? That's like a family school. It's a couple schools like that. Like Bruner's familiar with Washington. Spates go to LSU. It's a couple of those guys that are legacies at certain places. Looks like Jamie's guy, Teddy Schlesinger, ran a 4.6. So yeah. And KG says you ain't eating no wings. Yeah, yes I am, bruh. I'll put some wings away, bruh.
Put the wings down.
Yeah, you give me wings and beer and a good game, I'm good. I'm there all day.
You want to chance out. Just break out the trophy now, right?
I ain't gonna go that far. I'll make it interesting.
All right.
Let's Any final thoughts on the draft? Are we good to go?
I'm Golden Pony Boy.
All right, man. Have a little KG segment here. If he's listening, if you want to jump in, come on, Cletus. We call it the Ashburn Powwow. Where basically we're just gonna take some notes. Oh, hold on. Before I go further, your boy Bam Martin Scott had 121 tackles in his career at South Carolina. I thought you might want to know that. You just brought him up. You said guy with the name Bam.
No.
Like he was getting his Bam on.
Yeah, 126 career tackles. That doesn't seem
more likely. It's more likely he played like a year or two.
Yeah, with NIL now, you don't know where they at.
Right.
Let me say something here. You were talking about wings. Hold on, you the same guy talking about putting away wings. When I said something to you about the Friday nights at Cluck, you make fun of me. But you talking about putting away some wings now?
I mean, dog, I'm not putting away 75 wings. I'm sorry.
It was a bet. Right. Dog, it was $100 on the fucking table. What do you want me to do? You want me not to get the $100?
Hey, I'm not mad at you. You do what you want to do.
Man, do you know what that is?
You put down 75 wings?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was a bet. Here's a story. Story time. We used to have this thing. We used to have this thing back. This is early 2000s. So I'm 19 at the time. My cousin had came back home from Oklahoma. So me and him used to just bet each other. We bet on anything. Who can get the most overtime hours? Who worked the hardest this week? You know, it was always a bet. And whoever lost the bet had to buy dinner. So we had a rotation where it was Jiffy's, Cluck You, and somewhere in the carryout. It was a rotation that we went through. This is a Cluck You weekend. This is when Cluck You was up off of Riggs Road, up off the hill. And the dude that worked in the kitchen was a guy that I went to school with. So he would sauce my wings up for me. My mom would get 36 wings. Me and my cousin would both get 56. So, and then, you know, you had the party platters and all that. But my cousin bet me one night. My mom gave me some of her wings. And then he was like, I can't finish my wings. He said, I bet you $100. Pulled a $100 bill out of his pocket because it was payday. He slapped it on the table. He said, I bet you can't finish all my wings, all your mama wings, and the rest of yours. I said, bet, give me some blue cheese. He gave me blue cheese. I sat there, I ate it, and I laid on the floor and damn near cried because I was just that full. But I got my $100. And the next morning when I got up, I went and bought me another pair of phone posits because I needed $100. And he gave me $100. Hey, easiest $100 ever made in my life. But he learned to stop betting me when it come to wings, man. You're not gonna mess with me with no wings.
Yeah, you gonna win that contest because I eat something, but I ain't eating 75.
I bet cheesesteak you can't eat 100 wings today.
Jack, I'm 43. I don't have that stomach anymore.
I'm gonna make sure I get cheesesteak out of you.
Man, I don't have that stomach anymore.
I know, right?
You want me to cry? You want to see a grown man cry? Ask him to eat them wings. I could probably eat 15 wings and be tired after that.
Nah, I'm just trying to get on that KG cheesesteak list. I think I'm gonna lose the bet I got with you now, but ain't no sense.
I gotta remember what the bet is.
It's 60 wins by Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that's a Blue Magic guarantee, baby.
It looks like it's gonna happen. I hate it. But we'll see. What do they say? The hay's not in the barn yet.
No, it's not. You got a ways to go.
Oh, now Jimmy's being mean to me. Hold on. First, it's Samara 75 regular wings and the things. Try 75 atomic wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. Mo Makeup has 3.
Man,
well, they had that at you.
Yeah.
You had to sign a waiver for him.
Mm-hmm.
I've only known one person to do it. BJ signed a waiver, got him, and was pissed and wanted his money back.
What?
Well, because they weren't hot enough.
He said they weren't hot enough. He said, I can eat these in my sleep. This is not hot enough. He said, I wanted to be so hot that my nose runs just from smelling it. This is not hot enough. I want my money back.
BJ?
Our BJ.
What?
Now, if you're familiar, no, I got some even hotter. If you're familiar with Beltway Plaza, old Beltway Plaza, they had a place in there called Wings to Go. It was on the side where the Giant is. If you walk past the Giant, it was on the right hand side. It was Wings to Go. They had these wings called homicide wings.
I remember hearing about those.
BJ went and got 6 homicide wings. I said, why are you only getting 6? He said, trust me. He said, eat one. And we going back to the house, and I'm talking, and I'm eating the wing, and I'm tearing this thing up. All of a sudden, the outer ring of my lips started burning. And he's sitting there with this devilish grin on his face. Then he starts laughing like a supervillain because he knew what he was doing. And he's cackling and laughing. We get to my house. I go in the kitchen, I get milk, and I had to put my lips in milk. When we walked in the door, he asked my mom, he said, Mama, you want one of these? Now from the door to where she was sitting at the computer had to be a good 25 feet. She said, I smelled them when you walked in the door before you even opened the container. Get them away from me. He sat there and ate the remaining 5, did not drink a thing, and looked at me and was like, these ain't even nothing. I said, man, I don't know what your stomach, your lips, and your mouth made of, but boy, you's a bad dude. And when it comes to hot stuff, I bow down to him in a heartbeat. If he say it ain't hot enough, I know it's too hot for me.
I remember Cluck, you had something called Atomic Bubonic or something. That's the one you had to sign off on.
Yep, that was the top.
Cat cry on that one, but that's not my speed, dude. I ain't trying to not be able to breathe for fucking the next 2 hours or have sweat in my eyes. I like my food. I like to taste it. Man. That atomic shit, you don't taste it. It's just burning your face.
All right, Jamie joined us again on YouTube. My son ran a 5.0 in the 40 at 11 years old. Then next comment is Jack.
That's his name.
Jack's seen how fast my boy is.
Yeah, no, he's quick. He's very quick.
And then they just posted some times in terms of miles per hour for some of these guys at the combine. They've got like a top 5. Demetrius Knight Jr. from South Carolina, 22.76. That's flying. Jahad Campbell, 22.62. Eugene Asante, the linebacker from Auburn, who started off with a 4.48. He went 22.54. Our guy Kane Madrano, 22.38. And then Oregon, Jeffrey Bassa, looks like he's got a 22.37. So these boys running out here, man. I want to see what the DBs do. I'm curious on that. And then Sam Marr said hot sauce called Suge Knight. All right, let's get back to it, man. I'm sorry. A little detour there, but KG got to about his wings. Ashburn Powwow. KG, this is kind of your brainchild. So you tell me where to go on this and I'll just follow.
Okay. I just want to know, are you on 0.5?
All the time, Tip.
Oh, that's all. John Allen giving permission to seek a trade. I wanted to hear you gentlemen thoughts on this, but also before I hear your thoughts, I would like Midnight Ride, and I know Jack, he got a PSA too. Please, gentlemen, let the folks know that when you put this together and you try to put a trade together, you're not getting 7 number 1s back and 2 2s. You're not getting 8 picks back. Please, 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 please go into that first before we go into options.
Well, I mean, I think the first and foremost is the fact that when a team gives you permission to seek a trade, they basically telling you, unless you can find somebody to give us a legitimate offer, we're probably going to end up waiving you. So, and the problem that John Allen has is Senor Rivera mismanaged this a couple years back. If you sign, and I don't think I was doing the show with you guys at the time. I think I was at the other place, but I was saying that if you sign John Allen to a long-term deal, when it comes back to what's his name, Deron Payne, you can't sign Payne. Like you can't have, for the production they give you, you can't have 40, 50 million tied up in your tackles. And if you follow the blueprint was the San Francisco 49ers, who had their 2 tackles. They traded one to the Indianapolis Colts. Then they turned around and drafted Javon Hargrave. I mean, I'm sorry, not Hargrave, but Kinlaw. And unfortunately for them, Kinlaw just kept getting hurt. But it was the right transition. It just the results didn't work out the right way. But that's what I thought the Commanders should have done. You don't bog yourself down with the tackles. Back to what KG asked me.
Let me say this before you go on. If you didn't see that as history repeating itself, let me remind you of Dana Stubblefield and Dan Wilkinson. Now go on.
Well, different times, but I know what you're getting at, and I understand exactly what you're saying. But yeah, team building wasn't this team's strong point in the past, and hopefully we're getting to a spot where we're better at it. And that's part of the reason why, because John Allen doesn't have any guarantees in it this year, it's part of the reason why he's the first one to go, because you still got money that you pushed off in the affordable years with Deron Payne. So he's harder to move than getting just the straight out $16 million or whatever it is when you move John Allen. That's the simple math on that. But I think JP Finley's still at the best. I think at best you might get a pick swap where you give somebody John Allen in the 6th. They give you maybe a 5th. On a good day, you might get a 4th. But, I mean, I don't expect a huge return for this. I think some teams just want to secure his services so they don't have to go through a bidding war. And that's the way they'll do it. That way they don't have to worry about losing them as a free agent. They control the destination by trading for him.
Yeah. Nope. You definitely hit that right, man. I think we should move on from both of them.
I mean, you eventually will, because you'll have probably Newton. If you get a kid this year, Newton and the kid this year will be your 2. You'll supplement it with your Sheldon Days, some of the guys that you brought in either during the season. And that's a group that you got to give your pro scouts have to get some love in this situation, because it seemed like you brought in guys like Sheldon Day, anybody that you gave a chance to, they actually pretty much played and gave you some opportunity and gave you quality minutes.
Yeah.
Sheldon Day pushed for Darian Mathis basically off the team and pretty much out of the league. And that was your 2nd round pick 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually the succession. I mean, Ron did get that right by picking him to be the successor. The problem was he wasn't the right successor because you drafted him in the 2nd. And I think his grade was like a 3rd at best. So I don't know. I mean, that group seemed like they wanted to be smarter than the room.
Yeah. But no, I still feel, I felt should have moved on from both of them. You got Johnny Newton coming up, like you said. I was a fan after we drafted them in consecutive years. I was a fan of the Alabama boys. That's what they were calling them. And coming from a program like Alabama when they were there, very, very winning program, I thought they were going to bring that to Washington. I really did. And I rooted and I rooted and I rooted for these boys. But they're terrible, man. I'm sorry. They're terrible. They just stand up and dance. I see no moves, no handwork. They're just collecting checks is what I think them cats doing. Let's see if they go somewhere else and produce. I don't think so. I think both of them might be out of the league in a couple years.
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Giving them both the big extensions. I think it was in consecutive years that way too, right, Midnight Rider?
Yep.
That was the big red flag. Big red flag. All that's doing is handcuffing your program. So I thought that was a bad move when they gave them both big bags in consecutive years. So I'm done. I'm done with the Newton Allen experiment. It didn't pan out. I mean, what they've been here now. So this is 6 years, 7 years.
John Allen's in year 8, so Payne's got to be year 7.
Yeah. So I mean, between the two of them, that's 15 years, and I bet you ain't got 5 Pro Bowls.
I think the only one you have is Deron Payne's 11 sack season. John Allen might have one also, because he did get to
right, but it's
what
not
was
5.
he was like in the mid 60s. I think it was 2 years ago on the NFL Top 100. So I don't know if Jack Carr has seen what's in the screen yet.
Yeah, I'm disappointed it didn't work out.
No, you're not looking at the screen right now. And KG's on mute.
I got to give a big shout out to the gentleman Jack Carr and Mama Carr. They sent me visors, baby. It's about that time. I'm gonna roam the sidelines and these bad boys today. My hair fits in here. Just want to say thank y'all. Thank you.
That's why I sent you 2, KG. I think one is bigger than the other, and that's not my favorite one.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm when I tell you this is what I need when I'm at work. This is what I need. See, look, the hair sticking out of it. I can wear a hat. Thank you. Thank you to you and Mama Carr. Appreciate it. I just got in the house, so I had to switch out. But yeah, I'm geek right now.
Big smiles, baby.
That got to you quick, man. I mailed that yesterday evening. Them damn postal workers in DC, boy, they must be cranking over.
Yeah, because I got mine the next day.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. But I mailed yours in the morning. It wasn't as much a surprise, but I mailed his right before closing time at like 4:45.
Hey, man.
And I said, yeah, he probably gonna get it Friday, shit. But yeah, hey, sharing the KI love with my people.
Appreciate it. I gotta get Sam R. He's on one tonight, baby. Nobody's ever ran fast than I ran when I flipped the lights off and run to my room before the boogeyman gets me.
Hey,
so that might be
I
like
don't know if we all been there, but I know I've been there.
I thought he was gonna say something like, "Yeah, nobody runs as fast as me when the berries and cherries light up." That's what I thought he was gonna say.
Oh man!
Hey, that kept us in shape for sports.
to put my 2 cents on this this particular topic with Jonathan Allen. I've always said, Midnight Rider, I think you were correct. I don't think you were rocking with us full time when they gave him the extension. And I was like, okay, Jonathan Allen, yes. Deron Payne, no. Because you can only pay one. And we kept saying that you can only pay one. You can't pay both. You can only pay one. You can't pay both. And they wound up paying both. And the problem was, what I saw was Dana Stubblefield, Big Daddy Wilkinson. Great talents. Don't get me wrong. We're great talents. But we paid them entirely too much money to be 31st against the run. I didn't want... I was talking to Ross earlier, and I was telling him, he got to come back on because I need to talk to him about last season, upcoming season, and we gotta bury our PTSD from the Snyder era in the last 30 years because we had something to cheer about this year, and that PTSD was one of the reasons why I was like, let's not pay these guys an exorbitant amount of money if we're not getting anything in return.
Well, I think.
And now,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you paused on me. I thought you were stopping.
No. Go ahead, though.
No, all I was going to say is I think we saw a glimpse of it with Philadelphia. The fact that Carter was dominant and Davis was plugging the run. I mean, if we got anything close to that from those two, I think nobody would have a problem. I remember when I first started doing the show, BJ hated those two. I think if there was a hate in DC, I don't know who he hated more. I don't know if it was Bradley Beal or the Alabama boys, but they were close. They were neck and neck.
Oh, you got to throw Gortat in there too, because he offered to drive Gortat out of town too.
Well, I've offered to drive a lot of people, so I don't know.
But think about this. You look at it and the production that we got. I absolutely, don't get me wrong, I love John Allen. Even in Madden, I played Madden 20 with those guys. When it came time, I re-signed John Allen and I shipped Deron Payne out. Last year, Deron Payne's contract, I shipped him out. And I got picks back for him. Now, here's the thing. We trade John Allen right now. don't expect a king's ransom for him. Yes, he's talented. Yes, he's a staple in the community. Yes, most of the fan base loves him. I'm most of the fan base. Yes, I do love Deron Payne grew on me. I love him too. But I have to look at this as a standpoint. This is a business. We have to get better. I can love you. But when you stop making tackles, as Jimmy Johnson said, I don't love you no more. I don't know what it is about D linemen and edge rushers that come to DC. Everybody's in the bull rush. Nobody has no swim move, no spin move. John Allen, if you're familiar, before they switched over to the 3-4, John Allen was a defensive end. Even as a defensive end, he really wasn't getting the penetration. When we went to the 3-4, it was him, Payne, and Chase. And I'm like, okay, somebody got to be drawing a double team somewhere.
That's off, bro.
What do you mean?
Because Sweat is before Chase. Sweat is the very next draft.
Right. Because no. I'm saying as far as, Sweat was listed as a linebacker, edge rush. I'm talking about as far as the line go. Hand the dirt guy.
I got to double check that because I thought we were 4-3 from. Because Sweat Allen would have been maybe Gruden's last year, and he got hurt.
Yeah, he was Gruden's last year.
I don't remember them playing a 4-3 with them two.
Yeah, before they went to the 3-4, they were in the 4-3.
No, they were in the 3-4 first because they came off the 3-4 with Shanahan. They ran it with Gruden, and then they went 4-3 towards the end of that somewhere.
They went 4-3. But no, they did go 4-3, but then they went back to the 3-4 because let me rephrase that. No, take that back. They started running. This is under Rivera because we still had Ioannidis. Ioannidis was playing the nose, and I was like, Ioannidis is the perfect nose because
Ioannidis did good.
Yeah, see, Jack knows. And when you had Ioannidis in the middle, I was like, okay, you're drafting Chase. You're getting another edge rush because you got Chase on one side. Don't put him hand in the dirt. Let him be kind of like your roving Lawrence Taylor. Same thing with Sweat. Let him be your roving Lawrence Taylor from either side where you don't know which one's going to drop back in the coverage. But everything didn't pan out that way.
Well, the problem with Sweat is Sweat's 6'5", 6'6". He's got long speed, so he's a 4.47 guy or 4.48 guy, but that speed has to build up. And there's a difference, and this is part of the thing that I like about this new group, is one of our pieces of our type is your explosion area, your first 10 yards. And when you start talking about people in their first 10, that's when you get the explosiveness, you get the jump on the person if you're rushing from the outside. And that's why I think both Chase was a fast athlete, but he didn't have that first step explosion.
Quick.
Right, exactly, Jack.
No, that's what I said earlier.
Jack, if I give you a GM job, you might be my assistant GM. I'm telling you. You understand the type.
Holler at me.
You understand our type.
But it goes back to what I said earlier. Somebody can be quick and somebody can be fast, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
Fast is what you are in the completion of the run. Quickness is where you start with the run. And linemen need quickness. Because the offensive linemen are getting quicker and quicker and, working on their footwork. And you got to be quick. Fast don't mean shit on the line.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I say we had an abundance of talent in DC on the defensive line. The front seven, we had an abundance of talent. You had Montez Sweat. You have Deron Payne, John Allen. You have Ioannidis. You had Ioannidis. You had Cole Holcomb. You had these young guys that you could mold.
Didn't we have 4 1s?
Yeah.
You just said Cole Holcomb. We're not doing this today.
Cole Holcomb, North Carolina. Dude was all right.
Dude was pretty good.
Say it again. He was all right.
He was good. He did all right. He did better than most of them number ones did.
Okay, guys.
He played every day.
When he got hurt, you saw how the defense went down.
Yep.
Okay.
Where is he at now?
He went to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
But this right here, this is basically it's time to close the chapter. I mean, Deron Payne might be the one that's given permission to seek a trade next year.
Don't say Mike. Don't say Mike.
He will be.
Yeah.
Let's
The
not get
writing's on the wall.
into. Huh?
You know how they got anytime, any place, anywhere, or whatever it is on the wall.
Right.
And the thing, it says Deron, you next on the wall, written in, because he ain't gonna be here past next year. Sorry, bro.
But
I agree.
Don't think as a fan base that we're gonna get a king's ransom. We're not gonna get 8 number ones and 2 2s. We're not gonna get 2 1s, 2 2s, and then 3 3s next year. Stop. The most you'll get for John Allen at this present point is maybe a second and a third. And that's on the high end.
When? Who the GM for that team? Pookie?
They might fleece him out of something.
No. Nobody's giving you anything. And they might be giving you Doritos. And
hold on. This is why I say a 2. This is why I say a 2 and a 3, because package with Allen is going to be either 1 or 2 picks to get 2 picks back. That's mock draft that I heard. I said that I'm not packaging 2 picks. I'll trade Allen in a 6th and see what I get back.
You getting a 5th or a 4th at best.
Then I'll take a 5th and a 4th if I'm trading about it. No, 6th
or 5th or.
Oh, you saying 1 pick?
Yeah, you ain't getting more than 1 pick for him.
Okay, I'll take that.
We're seeing these mock drafts, and KG just mentioned the mock draft he's seen. I still think it's a bit early, a bit premature to be making these mock drafts. There's a lot of moves still going to be made. I think some cats is going to trade up and down in the first round. It's too early to be making these mock drafts. They're nowhere near. Print out a mock draft that came out yesterday and see how accurate it is come April.
That's not the point, though, Jack.
Why make them so early? What's the point?
Because you want to see where people fall right now. And I'm saying that because this is what I do. I mock draft. I'm probably on mock draft 19 as we speak. Mike is doing number 20. And the reason I do it, hear me out. The reason I do these is because I want to see. I already know. Hold on, excuse me for 1 second. All right. So I already know that I'm adjusting for 2 things. I'm adjusting because I know we haven't had the combine yet, and I know certain places haven't adjusted their settings, right? So I go in knowing that. And Jack, the one thing I do, because I'm very
anal.
I don't want to use that word, but
about it.
Jack's right. Perfect word, Jack. Perfect word.
But if I see a mock start wrong, I will end it and start over. Like I saw a mark, but somewhere the QBs lasted like 15. I was like, delete, start over. Because I want to try to be as realistic as possible. And I know there's some places where they got higher grades on guys. And I know after this weekend, I think PFF does a good job of keeping it somewhat up to date. But I don't use mock drafts to essentially pick where it goes like PFF. I'll watch the experts. Again, I think Daniel Jeremiah and Todd McShay do a very good job of mocking things out. I'll follow them just to see what they have, just to get an idea. And then you just listen to, teams as they talk. Go ahead.
Well, after this weekend, yes, I don't really see a problem with folks doing a mock draft after this combine. Why do I keep calling it a combine? Keep thinking about that terrible massacre at that school years ago. So, yeah, if they started to do mock drafts after this weekend instead of 3-4 weeks ago, I wouldn't have a problem with it, because then you done seen how some of these guys are going to work out. You done seen some numbers in the tests and drills they run. And then it's time for everybody to fall in line to what kind of moves they're going to make in this draft, whether trading up or trading down. So the draft order is nowhere, I don't think, set. It's still got changes to be made to the draft order, and that's going to screw up anybody's mock draft.
Of course, but that's not what we see. We do this.
I don't see the point.
See, I do. I like to take a temperature. I like to take a temperature of where a guy is.
Why?
Huh?
Why? What
does it? What I do?
It just makes you feel good.
It's what I do. I'm into it, dog. I've done mock drafts in Novembers. This is the first year I haven't done a November mock draft.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll say that.
And it's all because I want because what I look at is I want to see what people think. All right, here we go again. Here's the class, and because Mel starts doing his, I think Mel 1.0 comes out in like around Thanksgiving, maybe later, a little bit later than that. And all I do is I watch, see what people have people at. And then what I'm interested in is the change. I think you want to see what it's going to be. I like the layers. So like I have literally stages of mock drafts. So my stage is end of December to January. That's mock 1 or thought process 1. And that's and of course we don't have any true form of a draft process. They're just guessing where teams finish.
No doubt.
That's fun for me because I'm looking at names. I'm trying to learn people. Then from January to now, my idea is all right. Once I got names, now let's see where the adjustment is, because now we actually have an order. Now we have team needs in place. So where do these needs fall? It's just me.
I feel you.
I'm just a nerd. This is one of those things I love to do. Yeah. I mean, KG and I, we sat there in the first 12 picks last year. And he'll tell you, I was sitting there, I was like, oh, I think this, and I was wrong. I think I was the only person that was cool with Michael Penix getting drafted by Atlanta, because I was like, it makes sense.
Hold on.
I was cool with that. Oh, no, I was not cool with that. My bad.
When Bo Nix got drafted, before that pick came in, the Midnight Rider sat here on this very podcast and said, Sean Payton, he get ready to get himself another Drew Brees. And the comparable player to Drew Brees is Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a Drew Brees clone. He's going to get Bo Nix. As soon as he said it, the pick is in, Bo Nix drafted.
He did.
So, let's run through these, fellas. Martin Mayhew calls it a career. Not big to some, but drafted by the Bills in 88. Won the Super Bowl with Washington in 91. From 89 to 92, he was the corner on the other side of Darryl Green.
Mm-hmm.
And one day we need to put up Darryl Green and then what corners played on the other side of him throughout his career with Washington.
That's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Now I can name 3 off the top of my head, and that's Mayhew, Champ, and Barry Wilburn.
Will be burned. Will be burned.
You got Lamar Parrish. You got Vernon Dean. You have Mayhew. You have Wilburn. You got Brian Davis out of Nebraska, first round pick, number 34. You have what's my man? Is it Tom Knight from Notre Dame?
Tom Carter. That's another
Tom Carter from Notre Dame. Blah blah blah. Let me see if I can think of anything else. I think you get Champ.
Mm-hmm.
You get Alvoy Mays for a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
You get Mayhew. I can't remember if Mays started the Super Bowl or if Mayhew started the Super Bowl. Let's see if I can think of anybody else. He was gone for the trash corners because we had that trash secondary when Sean Taylor was here. Champ, Smoot, Dion in some shape, form, or fashion. And I'm going to stop there.
Quick tidbit before we get back on Martin Mayhew. I thought when we had Chris Dishman on the other side, I was like, oh, man, we got 2 of the best corners in the league because we got Chris Dishman, we got Darryl Green. Ain't nobody beating us deep.
Dishman was on his last legs, though.
Yeah. Oh, Sean Springs, too. That's not he was here for Sean Springs, right?
Yeah, right? Sean Springs, Antonio Winfield. My list.
Antonio Winfield.
I think that's what it said on the bottom of my list.
That don't sound right.
It don't sound.
Oh
right.
no. He came here for when he was finishing up with Minnesota. He might have been here for a ham sandwich.
Okay.
Cup of coffee.
He left in free agency. I actually had Martin Mayhew's card where he left in free agency and went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to 96. In 99, he came back to the Washington Redskins as a personnel intern. 2001 to 2003, he was the senior director of football administration in Detroit. Then he was promoted to senior vice president and assistant general manager from 2004 to 2008. From 2008 to 2015, he was the general manager. Director of football operations in 16 with the Giants. 17 through 18, he was senior personnel executive with the 49ers. Got promoted again, vice president of player personnel in 19 and 20. Came back home to the Commanders / football team in 21 to 23 as a general manager. And last year, he was a senior personnel executive and advisor to the GM. Basically, he had somebody come in and take his job, and he had to show him around the building. But I digress.
Was Dishman a cornerback or a safety?
Corner.
He played with us, didn't he?
Yeah, yep. He was at Houston. He came here.
I think he played
had if I remember correctly, there was a long field goal tried in the game. I think it was a Monday nighter. And he returned it back for maybe a touchdown. I can't remember if it was a field goal or a long interception, but I remember that happening. We probably had to do some research, get the research team on that. All right. Get the interns or the hands.
Now, I'll have to say this. I don't know how much weight Martin Mayhew slung around in the front office, because I believe during Ron Rivera's tenure here, Ron Rivera was the end all to be all. Because it was the brain trust was Mayhew, Hurney, Rivera, but I think Rivera had final say on everything. Correct?
I think so. And there, JP dropped the story that there was yelling in the draft room when Gonzalez was passed over for what's Forbes, and somebody said, "Well, if that was the case, you would have seen it." And just remember, if you saw the Commanders Commanders log 2 last season, at the Senior Bowl, there was a scene where somebody came up to Adam Peters and they said something. I don't know what they said. But Adam Peters immediately said, like, delete. So don't think these teams don't control their content or what comes out. So there could have been that yelling contest, but they cut it and then produced it to where everybody was either high-fiving or happy with the pick. So don't think that didn't happen. Secondly, I think KG remembers because we were live when the pick came in, and I had been on this thing of, oh, we can get Gonzalez. Oh, we can get Gonzalez. And they took Forbes. And I didn't want to cuss the TV out. I didn't want to show that much emotion because I was pissed. And I was like, the only thing they could be doing is doing this for the kids' interceptions, but it doesn't make sense.
Now, here's some picks under Martin Mayhew. And I'm not saying this to disparage him in any way, because I know he wasn't the only one making decisions. And he probably wasn't listened to. I know that's the problem that we had in the front office for years, where the front office guys weren't listened to when it was time to make picks. 21, Jamin Davis, Sam Cosmi, Ben St. Juste, De'Ami Brown, John Bates, Derek Forrest, Cameron Cheeseman, William Bradley King, Shaka Toney, and Dax Milne.
Hold on. That group, let's think about this.
Cosby's the only one left.
They moved up to draft. They moved up to draft Cheeseman. I don't know if you can't trade a pick to draft a long snapper. I don't care how much you have long snappers.
You get long snapper undrafted all day long.
All day long.
In 22, Jahan Dotson gone. Fedarian Mathis
gone.
He gone.
Percy Butler.
B. Robinson will be your third running back. Percy Butler might be gone.
Sam Howell gone. No, they signed Sam Howell to a futures contract.
What future?
They signed him to a futures contract at the end of the season.
What do you think about Sam Hartman?
No, I saw Sam Howell. They when the season was
Nah,
up after
dog.
the playoff run, they
No
was
way.
like, yeah. That's what I said. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way.
Nah, bruh.
But
I think you think about Hartman, man.
I may be talking. It may have been a typo because I was like, ain't no way, boy. But Cole Turner, Chris Paul, Christian Holmes. The following year in 23, the Brain Trust, we had an ownership change. They got Emmanuel Forbes, Quan Martin, Ricky Stromberg, Braden Daniels, KJ Henry, Chris Rodriguez, and Andre Jones. And this past year, and that was a 4-13 year. This past year, I think that was Adam Peters running the show. So it wasn't.
This is Adam Peters running the show.
This is
Sam Ritchell and Company.
Right. Now, with this is where Jaden Daniels was drafted number 2 overall. And somebody on Twitter said, drafting Jaden Daniels number 2 over Drake May and letting a great quarterback like Sam Howell go is going to prove to be the undoing of this team. And Don't at me. Just come back in 6 months and see how it works. Let's say when everybody online came back and gave my man the smoke, he ain't had nothing to say. He deactivated his page.
Nah, there's a dude. If you ever listen to Craig Hoffman, there's a dude that when they traded Jahan Dotson, he was talking about Dotson, Forbes. Who else? It's like basically everybody that they cut, he was talking about. It was like, I don't know why, like Adam Peters just bringing in these bums and we just accepting it and we letting all these people go. Of course, they play it all the time. Like, because Cuz went in on them and they were like, you don't know what you're talking about. And needless to say, he didn't. And yeah, it got crazy. They play it every so often. It's like I think it's got like 500,000 views on Twitter.
Now, this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say about Martin Mayhew. I don't give him hell for the drafts. I won't do that. Because I saw what happened in Detroit. He took over in 2018 and he started laying a foundation in 2018. Even though he didn't have his coach yet, he started laying a foundation. And if I'm not mistaken, he hired what was he there to 21? He hired Matt Patricia. And then he also fired Matt Patricia. And I believe in that he wound up going out the door at the end of that season too, and they wound up hiring Dan Campbell. But a lot of that foundation was laid with draft picks from Martin Mayhew. So
I don't agree with that, but I'll let you have that.
Okay, I'm just trying to get credit where credit's due. I don't want to make it seem like I'm dumping on the dude that he's a bum and this that and that. No, I
think he has his share decisions, but I think the problem here was. I don't know if the real experience was ownership and people letting them do their jobs. And I think that's the biggest problem. Whenever you have somebody that's a micromanager, they have the tendency to not let you do your job, or they overstep their bounds because they'll take what you worked on. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, my friend said this. Mm-hmm. And I think if you ever remember, I think Jay Gruden actually, it was Vinny Serrato. Candidly said that he was trying to draft the kid from Texas, the fast running back that ended up in Kansas City, Jamal Charles. And one of Dan Snyder's boys was like, oh, you should draft Malcolm Kelly. And we know the rest of that story.
Exactly.
That was one of the worst 3-pick sections. I think I cussed my TV out on every one of those picks. Devin Thomas, Fred Davis, and Malcolm Kelly.
What was that, 2009 draft?
I wanted Calais Campbell.
who is still playing today.
Exactly. And I think, and here's what I would say is, the guy, what's the kid that Jamie was talking about? Derek Harmon, 6'5", big defensive tackle. A kid like him, I'd bring a Campbell back just to help him out in those situations. I'm not a big bring back veterans type of guy, but I think Calais could give you another year because you need help in the run game no matter what. So I think that's the type of route you could go. It'd be interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
What's absolutely funny that you say that, Midnight Rider? What was that? That was 2000. What was that? 2008.
I try to block it out of my memory, KJ.
Which you should. I want to say it was 2008. I'm for sure because I'm trying to look at it now. And what's crazy about that season is, that was 2008. Devin Thomas, Fred Davis, Malcolm Kelly, Chad Reinhardt, Justin Tryon, Durant. You drafted a punter in the 6th round. What's funny about that, for years, people talk about, that was Vinny Serrato's greatest draft because look at all the talent he got.
They were doing it because of numbers.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Chris
get
Horton had that sesamoid. We never heard from Rob Jackson again. Colt Brennan never got on the field like he should have.
He never should have.
Colt Brennan, what's that, Hawaii?
Yes.
Yeah.
He put up some numbers, but man, who the hell they play?
No, he put up some numbers, and then got here, and then all of a sudden he became a preseason king.
Him and Marcus Mason, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a pro.
No.
Sorry.
Nope.
Sorry.
All right. Lastly, Scary Terry extension coming up. What's your ballpark figure?
I'd take the 4th guy.
Okay.
He's probably around 32 or so.
That's what I think.
I'd structure something around that. Because I wouldn't put him at 1 because even though he's our number 1, I think if you look at discussions in the league, I don't think he gets to the top wide receiver. And I think he'd be willing enough because he's finally got a quarterback that he'd accept a good market deal without it being the top of the market deal.
Definitely, I agree. Terry's excited about the future in Washington. So say he wants 30 and say Washington offers him 27.5. I think he'd take it to stay in.
I don't think he's taking 27.
No. I'm just throwing numbers at you, partner.
No, I know you are.
I think it's going to be in the 28 to 35 range.
I'd actually bump my bottom up to the 30 to 34 range.
Okay.
Same thing.
I know we're close. No, we're close.
If you put him in the 30 to 34 range, because now I like to pat myself on the back for this because Midnight Rider and the boss BJ told me he wasn't going to get the money that he got last time. I said, that's his range. That's what he's going to get. Oh, he's not going to get top receiver money. I say he's going to get top 3 receiver money because he's worth it. Look at what he's done with no quarterback. He's worth it. AJ Brown's at 3 with 32 million. CD Lamb's at 2 with 34 million. Justin Jefferson's at 1 with 35 million.
So he'll be at 30 to 32.
I thought we had a $40 million guy.
Nah,
not yet.
Okay.
Jamar Chase is going to be 35, 36.
Yeah, then I put Terry down more towards the 30.
Yeah.
And I think I think your floor is 30, but I think your ceiling is 34 and a half. I think that's your
he's 29. I think we right around that 30 to 32 now. Now that you say this.
I'll keep it at 28 to 30.
Below AJ Brown is Amon-Ra St. Brown,
right,
at 30 million. Brandon Ayuk at 30 million. Tyreek Hill at 30 million. Jalen Waddle's getting 28. Terry's better than Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
Can we all agree on that?
No.
I think so.
I think they're about the same guy.
I don't, because I think Terry's now.
Waddle's had a consistent quarterback down there.
And Waddle's been.
I mean, is it really consistent with what's his name getting hurt?
I think he's been a 1,000-yard, 8-touchdown kind of guy. But look at the numbers.
Been with Tua for many years.
But maybe we do that comparison.
Jalen Waddle he didn't have a really great season this season. He was quiet.
Let's do this.
He didn't have no quarterback.
Let's pull resumes. Let's pull a resume on that and put that for Sunday.
All right, let me.
What we pulling? Waddle versus Terry?
Yeah. I know Terry's number is gonna be better this year because of the 13 touchdowns and the yardage, but I just want to kind of get a view of them. And maybe we do a look at their career stats also in the graph.
Anybody else you want to throw in there?
Amon St. Brown. Because I think Terry should be right in the Amon St. Brown area.
Who's after Waddle, KG?
Devontae Adams at $28 million.
Well, he's just like Tyreek, man. They just got there because of the time they put in.
DJ Moore at 27.5, Cooper Kupp at 26.7, Devontae Smith at $25 million, Nico Collins at 24, DK Metcalf at 24, Deebo Samuel at 23, Michael Pittman at 23, Calvin Ridley at 23. Terry right now he was top 3. Everybody started getting contracts. He's down to 17 now at $22 million.
Okay.
But
so you front load him some money and maybe you can spread that number out. And he's a 28 number, but you probably pay him 31-ish, 30-ish. All right, I can see that.
See, here's the thing. You say that, and you fall right into what I've been saying for years that you clown me for.
No, I clowned you before because he didn't have a quarterback.
No, you've clowned me. Whenever it comes to contracts, you always clown me. Y'all, that's not going to work. But if you got a guy that's hitting his numbers consistently,
okay, I think I know what you're talking about. No, I'm not clowning you about contracts or I'm messaging you with contracts. Sometimes I'm just fucking with you. Excuse the language. But other times I don't believe it. I don't agree with the thought process.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
No, I'm messing with you.
I know you are. But that's why I said okay.
It's a simple fact that you can take a guy like Terry and you can pay him extra money to if he has 1,000-yard season. You hit like Gronk. Remember when Tom Brady force-fed Gronk the ball to get him his bonus? He did the same thing with Mike Evans. Every time a guy's close to their bonus last game of the season, the game's already wrapped up. Tom Brady forces his guys the ball because he wants people to get paid. Because hey, I'm going into this. So-and-so needs a touchdown. I'm going to get him his touchdown. He needs one touchdown. You got a quarterback that's giving like that. And I think if you put that in Terry's contract, he catches 10 touchdowns. That's an extra $1.5 million. If he gets 1,000 yards, it's an extra, $750,000. Something like that. You incentive laden his contract. Of course, you give him his guaranteed money. You front load, you give him his guaranteed money, you give him his bonus, but you get the extra perks. So the deal on the table right now will be, let's say, $31 million. But after incentives and bonuses and all of that, the deal could be worth $38 million. Mm-hmm. Because he has to hit certain numbers. And what that does, that also encourages guys to get out there, work, get open, work on their craft. Because, hey, if I work on my craft and I do what I have to do and I stay healthy, I'm going to get paid more money. And I'm not saying give them something like, if you catch 2,000, you catch 2,000 yards in the season, we'll give you an extra $1 million. No. I'm talking about something that's really attainable that he can get to. But it's just him working on his craft to get to it because you want to pay Terry. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want Terry to walk. You don't want Terry unhappy. To be quite honest,
Terry's not going to walk first and foremost just because I think he's happy with his situation. I think he's finally found a quarterback. And, unless you high or crazy, you ain't leaving your golden goose.
Well, let me say this. I don't think Terry's wife going to let him go. Let's say that.
She
the newly minted,
not letting them go.
Yeah, the newly minted Mrs. McLaurin ain't having that. Not because it's money hungry, but it's a good situation. You don't get up out of this good situation.
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, look here, guys. So we all agree Terry's going to get locked up, get a new contract. Right. What do y'all want? Y'all want 3 year? Y'all want 4 year? Y'all want 5 year? What y'all want?
I think you got to go 4 with avoidable 5th.
I think 5 should be set, but the way you said it and it was structured, that would work.
Yeah, because I think
how long?
Huh?
You said 4 years?
I said
with avoidable fifth?
4 with avoidable fifth.
So 5.
Because that way with the fifth, you spread the money out. So when you get to year 3 or 4, if the body isn't holding up, you can walk out of year 4 with a low cap hit, kind of like the John Allen deal. You know what I'm saying? You walk away, you're paying whatever it is, and that's all cash in hand, as opposed to you having to do anything else.
So what you're saying is put all the bonuses year 1 through 4, and then 5 is just a flat rate for the season, no bonus, no nothing. So if you happen to cut them, you don't owe anything.
Well, all right, we getting logged down in stuff that the normal people talk about.
Yeah.
So, but you're close to what I'm talking about.
When it comes to contracts and stuff like that, that's what that's my the front office stuff is my thing. You the draft analysis. I just want to be the numbers guy.
No, I'm with you because here's really what it's. So year 5 is exactly what you're saying. It helps you spread the bonuses out over 5 years, so you can have a low number in year 1. Hopefully, year 2 and 3, his more productive years, are the years that you're paying How in the Hog for him. Those are your high cap hit numbers. And then year 4, you should be at a place where everything's kind of out of the deal. And then year 4, either you're renegotiating the deal to extend them another 2 or 3 years, or you're telling them, hey, we're happy with your services. You know, year 4 and 5 is going to be at the rate you're at. And, you know, thanks for the memories.
See, I said it earlier, and I'm about to fall right back into my old ways. After I just say what I said about John Allen earlier. It's a business.
Right.
So I get that you're looking at it as a business. Here's the problem that I have. I keep reverting to look back at it as fandom and not a business. So that's where I'm messing up at. Because you're talking about 4 or 5, thank you for your service. And I'm saying to myself, what are you talking about? This is Terry we talking about. Don't you? This man got a cereal. Who are you talking about?
But you gotta remember, Terry came in at 24. So by the time we get to the end of this deal, he's 29 now. You get him at year 4, he's 33. Yeah. And he's a speed guy. You know what I'm saying? So like his years 33, 34, 35. What are we looking at in terms of speed and explosiveness?
Right. But now
it's not to disrespect the man, but we gotta be judicious in how we do this.
But now I don't know if this is the same. I don't think we've had a receiver in DC that was as loved as Terry since Art Monk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I correct on that?
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when I say loved, I'm talking about you don't find anybody in this city, the old school fans, that have said anything bad about Art Monk. Nobody ever says nothing bad about James Arthur Monk. When it comes down to Terry McLaurin, nobody can ever say anything bad about Terry because Terry's in the streets. Terry's he's at meetings. He's a team leader. And to be quite honest, yes, of course, your quarterback's gonna be the face of the franchise, but Terry's the face of the franchise.
I think that's a 1A, 1B conversation. I think Jaden Daniels is the future.
Yes, Jaden's the future, but him and Terry, I love to see it, man. I love to see it.
I think he and Terry build the next layer of fandom. Is what we're talking about here. We're talking about 2 guys that help us save a generation or maybe 2 generations that would become fans of other teams, but now because the Commanders are doing well, they're prospering. Now you got an opportunity where you can capture fans in the heart of people because the team that they love or the team that's in DC is now actually being good. So that's where the Terry thing comes in. But that's why I also think like we got to be judicious and smart about how long Terry sticks around, because you don't want diminishing value, and you don't want him not being who he is or what you thought he was. That's all.
Got you. So we'll dig more into this because we gonna pull resumes. Jalen Waddle versus Terry on Sunday, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Terry on Sunday when we're talking about money in ballpark. So we're gonna put a pin in this conversation until Sunday when we talk ballpark. But right now, as of right now, we're sitting in the, I'll say 28 to 32 range
Of
as far as contract, 28 to 32 a year.
yeah. And then also on Sunday, let's dip our toes. Actually, no, let's get our feet into the Yahoo rankings for the team based on the players' feedback, because the players did give some great feedback. This team went from, I think, 28th to 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if we have thoughts on that, we can talk about that as well on Sunday. And then Saturday's supposed to be a big day in college basketball. So maybe we hit and review some college basketball games, and we set that up for Sunday as well.
Well, I want to say this because Jack, you did a really, really good job with your JC Top 10 on Tuesday. And I actually was going to take off work yesterday so I could go to I'm about to say Cole Fieldhouse, Xfinity Center, to see Michigan State take on the Terps. But I wouldn't have been able to go in there like that, losing like that. Oh no. Oh no.
That was a big loss. I mean, that had to hurt the Terps, man, because to come out of that game, and if the Terps could have been victorious, that place would have just been nothing but love, man. With the how you should say it, twisting of the knife with the half court shot to win it, I wouldn't be surprised to see some damage around College Park after that loss. So, yeah, that would have been a big, big win. But, you know, Maryland still got some more big matchups coming in the next 3 or 4 games. So they still got time to keep stacking up credential wins.
Can I say something? And this is my final thought for the night, and I'm done. I'm finished because I said something in the group last night, and it goes from, if you look at the last possession for each team in that Maryland game, and then translate that over to what I saw Sixers versus Knicks last night. What are we doing here? I felt, I'm not gonna say I felt like an old man, but when you got time on the clock, it's 55-55, time on the clock. What happened to bringing the ball up 1-4 high? You got your best ball handler with the ball. You got the defender, of course. If it's Duke, he's slapping the floor, ready to go. And then all of a sudden, you look up at the clock. You got 7 seconds. You start making your move. You time it out just right. And you pull up and you take a sensible shot. Or somebody comes off a screen and you hit them. What happened to that brand of basketball in the final seconds? Nobody plays like that anymore. It's like everybody wants to take a shot from the logo. Last night, Brooke Lopez against who were they playing? Milwaukee. I can't remember who Milwaukee was playing. He took a logo 3. You're 7'1". Why are you taking a logo 3 with 10 seconds to go?
Okay.
I saw last night, I watched the Sixers, and Dario can tell you, I watched the Sixers come down the court. Paul George got the ball. He dribbled 3 times, tried to drive to the lane, stop, spin, take a contested jump shot off balance, miss. I watched the Knicks go down, pass the ball once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times, caught a man cut and laid it right in. And I was like, nobody plays ball like that no more. Nobody hits the one dribble, get the ball out your hand. Nobody says, okay, we're going to pass this around. Everybody's going to touch this ball. If we're going to attack the right side of the floor, we're going to attack the right side. The way the Knicks played last night, it made my heart flutter because I was in love with it. The way the Sixers played last night, I said, I see why y'all lost 8 in a row. I see why y'all can't get shit done. Because you come down court, you race down on a fast break. It's 2 on 3. Instead of you slowing it up, letting everybody get back, setting your half-court offense. No, you say, oh, I got an open 3. Let me take a 3. You're not getting the rebound if you miss that. Common sense. I've seen dudes in pickup games pull stuff like that and get choked out by the collar, get off the court, bring me somebody else that can play. I've seen dudes fight over that. All I'm saying is, give me a shot. Give me a shot. I can change the Sixers around. I can change some of these low-tier teams around. Give me a shot. Midnight Rider, I'm asking you formally, will you sit on my coaching staff? I'm asking Perry formally, will you sit on my coaching staff?
We got you, but here's the thing. I love your impassioned speech, but I think if I'm Willard today, I'm posting our shooting percentage, and I'm talking about individually, because I think one guy was 2 for 10. I think somebody else was 2 for 11. I think somebody else was 3 for whatever. And the reason I'm posting it is because I want you to see that we played our worst, and we were a trick shot away. It ain't far. It ain't impossible. The mountain we climbing, it ain't Kilimanjaro. What we got to do now is be in the moment. And we got to understand that if we shoot and play better, we're going to be better. There's no gap between us and Michigan State because Michigan State gave us what they had and we couldn't shoot. So now what you got to do is look inside of you. You got to figure out what this means to you. Because if it means what it's supposed to mean to you, you will know we can dance with the devil in the pale moonlight and we're going to be fine. We gonna be here. We in the fight. We are the fight. And the next thing we should be doing is thinking about what happens when they on a Big Ten tournament championship game and they hit the zeros on the clock. Do you want to be like the Saints and be counted in that number when the champions come marching in? And that's all I got.
Well, answer me this, KG. Did you watch the game live?
I didn't watch. I watched the final seconds. I wasn't able to get to it live. I was a little busy.
That's what I want to know. I did not see the game live at all. But how much time was on the clock when Maryland brought the ball up court that last possession?
10 seconds. I believe it was 10 and a half seconds. It was a little bit more than that because he shot the ball at 10 and a half seconds.
I think there was enough time for them to wait and have the last shot of the game, correct?
The kid panicked.
Yep.
Coach.
No, it's not the coach.
No. I think that was Gillespie. Now, I went full Patrick Ewing.
It was a good
What you
shot.
shoot that shot for? What you shoot that shot for? Have you ever shot that before? I ain't never seen you practice that shot. Have you ever shot that in practice? I've never seen you do that before. Don't shoot that shot.
Nah, you gotta save the confidence. So you can't I wouldn't do that in that moment. This is a time where you gotta hug and kiss the kid and make the kid understand and do teaching moments. This is a teaching moment.
I guess.
This is a teaching moment for me.
Everybody knows.
Can you come in for a second, Dario? Hold on.
Bring that ball up
come in for a
and
second.
you start making your move at about 7 to 6
No.
seconds.
I totally understand what you're saying, Jack. I just think
it's
the kid
not
panicked
his first year playing ball. So for a kid to
See, I got Dario standing here. He doesn't want to be on camera. I'm gonna show you a teachable moment.
Hello.
Dario, if you took a bad shot like he took last night, how's my teachable moment? It's I grab him, hey, bad shot, buddy. You know, if you wasn't my son, I'd blow your goddamn brains out. See, that's a teacher. Of course. Why don't you take shots like that? Because if you got 10 seconds left, what are you supposed to do?
But you gotta think about this. We're in Maryland. It's the number 8 team in the country. I just think the kid got lost in the moment. And what he ended up doing was he ended up leaving Mom's spaghetti on his T-shirt.
Well, that's what keeps programs at the level certain programs are at.
I think he's a better player than that shot.
Just think about this.
Execute at crunch time. What we doing here?
All I'm gonna say this is a wise man once said, "Bumpy roads lead to beautiful places." That was just one of our bumpy roads.
Road shouldn't be bumpy at this point.
What are you talking about, dude? The
road shouldn't always be bumpy at this point.
The road is always bumpy. You have losses all the time.
Yeah, I know you do, but the loss was created, in my opinion, by taking that shot early. The loss in many big games. This ain't his first big game, bro.
But dog, the loss was created because you had to fight back from being down 7 in the last couple of moments. You shot
tie ball game.
You didn't shoot worth shit the whole game.
Got tie ball game for 10-15 seconds. The
right,
game
so now you're stealing
as the game goes on.
But you're stealing in this moment right now. You're not in. You're okay. Whatever.
They blew it.
Okay. Nope. Okay.
That look, was that a pin?
Nah, I don't give that about a pin. I'm okay.
But that was my lobbying because I would like a coaching job to bring back sensible basketball.
Yeah, don't let him argue on that staff.
I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I don't like the brand of basketball I'm seeing. It's not every team, but I don't like the brand of basketball that I'm seeing, especially in clutch moments. Everybody wants to be the hero, but sometimes it's not your turn to be the hero. It's not your time. If I know for a fact we called the play and I'm supposed to get the ball to Midnight Rider, if he's double, he's going to hit Jack in the corner for the open jumper.
No, I'm not. I'm not
passing I bring the ball
shit.
Up.
I'm not passing Jack shit.
I'll come take it from your ass.
I bring the ball up. And I just say, you know what? Screw those guys. I'm just going to take a contested 3 because I'm going to be the hero. And I launch and Kobe and I miss it. My guys are never going to trust me again.
But all right, did they come out of a timeout to this possession, guys?
No, I think that was live.
I think that was live. Live ball, bring it up.
Okay, I'm just trying to gather all the pieces.
No, you good.
I still feel. I mean, like I say, it's
not
not his
say
first
okay.
rodeo.
Okay.
These boys been playing big time ball nowadays since they was 10.
Okay.
But
and
look, we got to talk college basketball on Sunday. So let's bring this back up. Let's dive deep into that game over the weekend so we can bring it up on Sunday and we can really hash it out.
Nah, I'm a coach like that. Game like that, we forget about, move on. Cause yesterday already happened.
Of course you do.
Yesterday already happened.
But it's still
tomorrow's too far away. Because all we got is today.
It's a good coaching moment.
It's always a good coaching moment. Yeah,
it's good coaching moments. Pat him on the ass. Get him some snacks and shit. On slices.
Right now is all we got. You know what I'm talking about? The greatest opportunity in the world is found in today. You understand that? We don't even know what yesterday got for us. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's already gone. Tomorrow, too far away. What about right now? What about right now? Huh? Would you give it all up for me right now? I got you. Huh? Let's go.
That's all I need. That's it. So, I look, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to jump off my soapbox. I'll talk to you gentlemen offline, but ladies and gentlemen, I got to say something. I said that was my last thing, but I got to give these flowers out. The Gentleman Jack on this side, the Gentleman Jack, the Midnight Rider, hell of a show tonight, bro. Y'all did excellent work. I was a background character. I was able to come in and say my piece twice, so I am good. This was an excellent show. I'm sorry I prolonged it for so long, but that's all I got.
I keep telling her, the one thing I always tell Jack, and we always say, we about information, man. Yeah. And we might give you too much information. We may give you too many wormholes, but We about information. If you like information, you in the right place.
And we put out dope shows.
Huh?
And we put out dope shows.
Yeah, we like Kanye. We do dope shit.
Dope shit.
But secondly, I like to get Sam R, Jamie, anybody in the comments. Thank you. It sounds like Jamie might want to get in on one of our draft shows because she was dropping information.
She's coming.
You know, we might get hey. Maybe we figure out a Wednesday if she's available Wednesday. Maybe we do a Wednesday special. We do a little draft and just whatever.
We can do that. And like I said, we still got a spring training coming very soon. It's right around the corner. They already reported, so she's definitely going to be
spring training happening. Spring training is happening. So the only thing is our baseball show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, she's definitely going to be on our baseball show. So,
right. And then outside of that, I mean, you got anything else, Jack? All right, man. Well, first and foremost, thanks to KG for jumping in with us. Thanks to the gentleman Jack for getting on my nerves and giving me a hard time all the time. No matter what,
nerves.
No matter what, I still love that dude because he know what he's talking about and he's passionate about it. And no matter how we interact or people perceive it, I always respect it because I know it's coming from a good place.
You my boy, Blue.
You my boy, Blue. You stole my line.
Your boy, Blue.
And then besides that, I'm the Midnight Rider. We want to thank you for watching, participating, liking. If you haven't liked and subscribed to Sideline Junkies on YouTube, do it because that way you get the automatic updates and the automatic things when the shows start. If you're not on the Junkies 24/7 podcast page, get there. If you're not in the passenger seat podcast page, get there. We here, we giving you live content all the time. We here 5 days a week. The only show we haven't given you, no, actually 6. Only thing we don't give you is a Friday night.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
And here we go with the mute monster. Yo, you
on
be
Friday.
We almost got through the show, KG.
It's always me, man.
I can't remember the last time we got through a show. It's either me or you.
On Friday on Facebook, there will be 5 shows as of right now from 8 a.m. all the way up. So you can catch replays of shows all day long.
Okay, so now we got the Friday replays.
Yep.
So again, we're doing different things. We're entertaining content because that's what we want to do. We want to create content. With that being said, this Thursday night throwdown was full of throwing down. We had the 2-hour mark. Again, gentleman Jack Carr, the big guy KG. I'm the Midnight Rider. We thank you for your patronage, and we are out of here. Have a good night, folks.